what's up guys, Awesome back here with another video. This video we are going to go over summertime bass fishing. It's summertime, so I figured it would pretty much fit in the category. And these are going to be 5 baits and 5 honorable mentions for early summer, midsummer, and late summer. So, if you missed that, I know it's getting ready to be in July, but if you missed early summer, which we're out of that, and we are currently going into midsummer, and you can go to late summer. Alright, so, early summer, and by the way guys, you will see some of these baits overlap for each one, but that's okay. It's just some that you really need to be throwing. Alright, so, early summer, my number one pick is going to be a spook. Hands down, going to be a spook over any other topwater bait. The only other one that I would compare or even think about throwing is like a Rico, and that's a popper. But it's going to be some sort of walking bait. I don't care if it's getting a little spooking box here. I don't care if it's I'm a skimmer or let's see here. I'm trying to give you options that way. If you ain't got one of these, you may have the other. A Rover 128V, 13 fishing dual pitch 94. A Rapala Skeeter Walk. Or here's one that about everybody has in their box, and that's us a standard hidden spook, original Zara spook. And if you ain't got that, this here is actually my favorite one. That's a KVD Strike King Sexy Dog Junior. Alright, so it's going to be some type walking bait. It can be any of them. It can be a Sammy or anything like that. So, the reason why is because early summer, them fish are going to be spawned out. They're going to be making their way back out to the first points, main lake points, and they're going to be making their way back deep. Alright, so, my second pick is going to be, which I don't throw it, but I do know it works. I know you need to. And actually, it's going to be in the honorable mentions, because something I don't throw, I'm not going to tell y'all to go throw it. But even though it does work. Alright, so, second one is going to be a swim bait. And y'all know, about every video is going to have a swim bait in it. I love throwing a swim bait. It's a way to catch numbers. It's also a way to catch quality. And it's so many different styles out there, like, it's crazy the different styles. You have your hollow bodies, you have your line threes, you have whatever you call them little storm ones. You have your big jackal gantarelle. You have your river to sea. You have Kitech, you have Strike King, you have a bunch, and you have Huddlestons. It's just so many different styles out there that you can throw. If I ain't on one, go to another. It's just so fun. Alright, so I'm not going to be throwing that big S-Wave or that Jackal Gantarelle or that Storm. Y'all already know me. What I'm going to be throwing is going to be in this box. And yeah, I do love throwing a 4-inch. Everybody does. If I can get away with throwing a 4-inch or a 3-3, I will. But what I find out more times than not, a 3-inch or a 2.8, that there's my favorite color, by the way. It's electric chartreuse blue. That there works better, for me at least. That's what I've come to realize than the big ones. And you may be wondering, well, I have all these big hooks looking for big fish like that there, 1/2 ounce. What am I going to do? Well, leave me a comment, leave me a DM on Instagram, snap me, Facebook me, and I will hook you up. I make swim bait heads, so I got you covered. And I will take my little 1/8 ounce head and this little 3-inch body here, and I will throw it on 4-pound line. And if y'all don't know how to rig a swim bait, that's how you rig a swim bait. Alright, so that there is going to be my second favorite way, and the second thing I'm going to be throwing. Because if them shad ain't near the top, you can look at that graph and they'll be suspended. So I can take that swim bait, count it down, or look on my graph, watch my line drop, and get a foot under them shad and just bring it up to them, and you will get your arm broke. Alright, so that's number 2. Number 3 is going to be some type of bottom bait. I don't like throwing my big worm early summer. I don't get luck on it. So I would probably throw something like a Ned rig. I love a Ned rig. A Ned rig is a very good way to catch a lot of fish, but also catches big fish. So Ned rig's coming in at number 3. I'm not going to show y'all how to rig that because everybody knows how to rig a Ned rig. Actually, I will, because I know it's younger viewers watching, and I appreciate y'all. So, a little money saving tip here. If you ain't got the money for Z-Man, I mean, you pay $5 for a pack of 8. They are elastic, and if you all don't know what Z-Man does, elastic stretches. So, right there, I got that in, then I got that in, and you can bring it right back to size, or you can pull it and shoot it, and it goes right back down to size. So it's about a 3-inch bait. But here's a little money saving tip. Go to Walmart, get some of these cream, I don't know what you call them. They're Senkos. Knock off Gary Yamamoto Senkos. And they will come in about 5 or 6 inches. Well, yeah, you can wacky rig it, you can Texas rig it, you can flick shake rig it, but you can also get 2 turds for 1. Because all you gotta do, take that worm, rip it right there. Now you have that one. And then you also have that one. So you're basically getting more bang for your buck. Alright, so I'm going to show you all how to rig a Ned rig real quick. And also I use my swim bait heads too as a Ned rig head sometimes when I'm breaking off a lot and I don't feel like breaking off every TRD head I have in my box. Also, another money saving tip, don't buy that one. It has one little bitty keeper right there. See if you can see it. Yeah, you can see it. Pay an extra $1 or $2 and get that one, because it has that right there, and it's such a better keeper. So how you're going to do a Ned rig? You got your hook, you're going to put in the center of your bait, and you're going to run it through, just like that. Same way as a swim bait. Now you may be like, well, that has it turned out a little bit. I have fished it like that. To me, it don't really make a difference. Some people is just like, well, I want mine straight. Alright, well, you can get it straight. You just have to kind of work with it. So, that is how you will rig a Ned rig. And I'm going to show you a straight way to rig a Ned rig. So, about right there. And this is going to go to the bottom, stand straight up. As you can tell, that's straight. Alright, so that came in at number 3. Number 4, going to be a jig. And that's just because it's a big, bulky presentation. And if them fish is suspended at 18 foot on the lake and I'm in 20 foot, I can stroke that jig up, make it hop up off that bottom, and make it rise 2 foot, and it skyrockets right back down. Well, it comes up again, skyrockets right back down. And as you can tell, I'm just going to drop it from right here. It falls fast. Alright, so some colors I like. You all know I like the Orange Crush or Tennessee Orange. I love that. And I have it in various sizes, various style heads. But 9 times out of 10, if I'm fishing structure or anything, 9 times out of 10, I'm throwing a football head. And I love throwing a football head. It just, everything you hit, it just flips up. Alright, so Tennessee Orange, Cumberland Crawl. I will show y'all Cumberland Crawl here. That right there's Cumberland Crawl. Got some 2 different shades of green and some orange in it. And Oops. Oops is a really good color that I ain't been throwing. But I do know people catches it on it. It is in my box. That right there's Oops. Alright. So, a jig came in at number 4. Number 5 is going to be something a lot of people don't do. I didn't get into doing it until this year. And once you get on that bite, you want it all year long. And that's an A-rig. If you find a big water shad out there, you throw that A-rig out there, slow roll it through them shad. It's just fun. Or, another thing you can throw, get honorable mention. So we are on to our honorable mentions now. There's going to be a shaky head. Everybody that hates a Ned rig loves a shaky head. Or vice versa. I hate a shaky head. I have plenty of shaky head hooks, plenty of shaky head worms. I just don't throw them. Alright, so how you will rig a shaky head, because shaky head is kind of confusing because it's so many different styles of worms. You got Senkos, you got your trick worms, you got finesse worms, you got crawls and everything. It's just so complicated. Alright, so I like the ones with that little screw lock. A lot of people don't. A lot of people says, well, you don't get that good a hookup ratio. I've never had a problem with it. So, you take that little screw lock. Well, I'll start over. You take the tip of your worm. I like to just either pinch or bite just about that much off. It just, to me, it looks better. So, you have a flat spot. You take that screw lock, put it in the center, and you twist. And every twist you see it start threading up there. Alright, so this here's just a Zoom trick worm. It's an avocado. Alright, so I go to the flat spot. And right there's your shaky head. A lot of people says that hump makes a difference. I ain't ever had a problem. If you don't want that hump, you can always just expose it and keep it straighter. Something about like that. As you can tell, it still has that little hump. That's that screw lock in there. And about right there is as straight as it gets. So what that does, it goes to the bottom, stands up, you hop it, that tail moves. Alright, so more honorable mentions gonna be like Strike King 10XD, a 8XD, a 6XD, a Rapala DT16, a Rapala DT20. I don't own any of them. I don't get into that. And another good honorable mention, and a lot of people think I'm crazy, but I promise you it works, and I'll show you it works by all the paint that's gone off these. And this is from this time of year. But before I get into this, another honorable mention is going to be a spoon and a drop shot. But what I'll do, I throw a trap, a 7/8 ounce trap. Something that's going to skyrocket, have a lot of noise. Like, just crazy. This here is like Chrome Sexy Shad, what's left of it at least. And you can tell it gets annihilated. A lot of people don't throw a trap right now. I don't know why. It works. Alright, so that is early summer. Midsummer, number 1 is going to be a spook. Number 2 is going to be a 10-inch worm. So like a Zumo monster, I'm just going to Texas rig it. And my box is actually in the boat. But it'll be the same thing. You're going to do it the same exact way as this crawl here that I'm going to show you a little demonstration of a Texas rig. And everybody says, well, for a big bait, you have to have a big hook. Not true. I have big hooks, and I will get into why I have 6/0 EWGs in the late summer. Alright, so the hook I'm going to be using is actually going to be like a 3/0 EWG, or I'll go up to like a big straight shank, something like a 3/0 or a 4/0 straight shank, something like that. And how you Texas rig. Alright, so what you do, you take the pointed part of your bullet weight. You put that on your line first. Leave this big part down. And if you do it right, it'll look like that. Alright, so how you Texas rig a soft plastic. You're going to go through the center, go up to the bend, and pull that hook out. So then it's going to look like that. You thread it up on there. So just like that. Your hook should be at the bottom of your bait. And then you do it just like that. As you can tell, I went in, that hook's right there. And how you Texpose, I always Texpose a Texas rig, is just like that. You just put the point of the hook in the bait a little bit, your weight's going to be right there. Alright, so that's how you Texas rig, for people that didn't know how. Alright, so that's going to be number 2. Number 3 is going to be a swim bait. Number 4 is going to be a Ned rig. And number 5 is going to be a jig. Some honorable mentions in that is definitely going to be a drop shot. Definitely going to be like a 10XD or so. A A-rig, a spinnerbait. And this will shock you, but if you can get a deep, like a super deep diving jerkbait. I'm not talking about the Strike King KVD deep diving jerkbait that they call a deep diver. I'm talking about like your deep Smithwick Rogues. Something that's going to dive easy, 15, 20 foot, no problem. Alright, so those there's honorable mentions, and also the shaky head. That there worked too. And a Carolina rig. Alright, so when you get into your late summer, this is where them baits is going to scatter everywhere. Because you have some that's still out deep. You have some moving back up in the backs of coves. They're going to be on like your second points in your pockets, your third. And it's just weird. You can basically do whatever you want to do and catch fish about all day long. It's just fun. So, this here, I'm actually going to have 10 baits that I'm going to have on rods. Number 1's going to be a spook. Still like to cover out water. Number 2 is going to be a Rico. I'm actually going to have 2 topwaters. And that's going to be like, if I see them jumping or busting, I'm going to fire at topwater out there. If they miss that spook, I'm going to take that Rico, fire it out there, and try to hook up on it. Or if I'm fishing partners, one of my buddies will be throwing a topwater like a spook or a Rico, and I'll be throwing the other. and we just figure them out. We figure them out if they want it slow or fast. Alright, so that's top 2. Number 3 is going to be an A-rig. And that's simply because you have them fish, and I'm not talking about like August or September. I'm talking about the later in August. I mean later in September, early October, when that water starts cooling down. Because you're going to have fish chasing shad. So I'm going to be having that A-rig on, or a spinnerbait. Number 4 is going to be a swim bait. And instead of throwing that little 2.8 stuff, that's when I'll go up to my 4-inch or 3.8. That's when I go big fish hunting. Alright, number 5 is going to be that 10-inch worm if I want that one big fish that's still out deep. So that's number 5. Number 6 is going to be some type of punching setup. And you're going to be like, you're punching? Yeah, I'm going to be punching. Because you have grass, you have a lot of rain, and that rain's going to be up, have that water up in the trees. You're going to have access to a lot that you won't usually have access to. So I'm going to be punching that brush, or I'm going to be punching hydrilla grass like milfoil or coontail or something like that. Although usually coontail is your deeper grass. But number 7 is if I'm going to be on a grassy lake like Woods Creek or Cedar Creek or Lake Tyner, I'm going to have a frog on. And that's simply because a lot of times when that sun's up, it's hot. And when that sun goes to set or just coming up, them fish are going up under it. And when they hear it or see it, they'll explode on it. So that's another good way. So we are up to 7. Alright, number 8 is going to be a Ned rig. Of course, you already knew that was coming in there. Number 9 is going to be a crankbait. And I actually just got into crankbait fishing this year. I love crankbait fishing. I used to hate it. This year I loved it. I used to only own like square bills. I had like 2 rock crawlers. I didn't know what I was doing when I was on the lake with them. And this year I actually caught a lot of fish on a rock crawler. So that's when them fish is going to be kind of weird. When they're still deep but they're actually coming up shallow. I ain't getting that 15-foot zone with a rock crawler, although it goes 9 to 14. But with lighter line, like 8 and 10 pound line, not over 12, I can get it to dive deeper. So that's going to be a crankbait. And my last but not least is going to be a jerkbait. And I know y'all are saying, he's crazy. But no, I ain't crazy, folks. I'm telling you, a jerkbait, I don't care if you're Kevin Van Dam or not, a jerkbait works just about year round. You hear a lot of professionals say that. And I'm a firm believer in it. I got into jerkbait fishing last year, and with the right jerkbait that dives the right depth, it'll work year round. So, I'm going to have that little Loco Special by 13 Fishing. It dives 6 to 9. And that's going to be my top 10 right there. I mean, I'm going to have some honorable mentions on that, like a spinnerbait, a chatterbait, a tube, a shaky head, a buzzbait. I would throw a buzzbait if you have any water over at milfoil grass. Like if a milfoil grass is here and you have that much water over it, or even that much, something that blade ain't going to get tangled up in, throw that buzzbait over it instead of that frog. That frog I was talking about, if it's like a mat, like matted grass on top of one another, kind of like that. So, either the frog or the buzzbait, that's what I'd do. And a floating worm, I love throwing a wacky worm, especially in ponds. It seems to work year-round in ponds. And I know people's just like, well, that's a pond. Anything working in a pond, not all the time. So, that right there should have you covered for summertime fishing. and everything like that. Let's see here. Anything else? Nope. I can't think of nothing else. I feel like I covered it. Alright, so that should have you covered for summertime fishing. If you are a beginner angler, go out there, go to a pond, throw you a floating worm, which is a wacky rig. You take a hook, hook it in the middle of your worm, and it just has it hanging down just like that. It's super fun, super easy, or a weightless worm. That really works. Or you can throw out spook or any popper. Go pond fishing before you go lake fishing. Alright, so that right there has you covered. And I really hope this helped. But actually, y'all helped me out. Let me know if it's anything I forgot in today's video. And let me know. Leave me about 5 of your baits that you love throwing in the summertime. And that's going to help me out. Because if it's something I forgot, if it's something I ain't heard of, if it's something I don't do, that's going to help me out. Alright, so please leave me a comment. Please leave me a like on this video. I actually did work hard on this video because I'm just like, what would I throw? Because fishing this time of year is so unpredictable. So, I usually don't ask for likes or comments. I've asked for comments maybe 4 times, but I don't think I've ever asked for a like. So please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. That way, if this helped you, you can actually be updated on my next coming videos, and hopefully those will help you as well. I do thank each and every one of y'all that has taken the time to like a video or watch a video or subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. I do thank each and every one of y'all. We are almost at 50 subscribers. And let's see here. See the actual number we are at. If I can pull it up. Let's see here. Well, it ain't letting me pull it up. I think we are at like 43 or 47 subscribers. Thank y'all for doing that. You have no idea how much it means to me. It lets me know that you actually want me to continue doing this, that you appreciate the content I put out, and that when you leave a like or you watch a video all the way through, it shows me that, hey, this guy knows what he's talking about. He knows what he's doing. And it also shows me that to keep doing it, that you all appreciate it. And it's been times where I'm just like, man, this only got 4 views and I don't know why. But it's also been some that I'm just like, wow, this thing got 17 views. I know it ain't a lot to like Lake Fork guy or anything, but to me it is. And I appreciate them views. I don't care if it gets 1 like or 5,000. I will appreciate it just the same to that person or those people. So thank y'all, and as always, give God all the glory. Be safe, have fun. Please go fishing. If you are a father or a mother out there watching with your kid, please take them fishing. I don't care if it's a pond. I don't care if it's a river or a creek or the lake. I don't care if you go out in a little creek with some night crawlers and catch creek chubs. It's just fun. Once they get that fishing fever, they'll be hooked on it for life. But as always, give God all the glory. Be safe, have fun, have a good day. Take somebody fishing, do something nice for somebody, and I am out. See ya.